welcome back to my channel. You are watching From Nisha's View, and of course I am Nisha. And if this is your first time watching, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoy what I have to offer. And on my channel I talk about fashion and I talk about photography, and today we are on the photography side, and you know what it is photography talk with Nisha. So what are we talking about today? We are going to be getting into, actually I'm going to do a two-part little, I don't want to call it a series because it's only two parts, right? So this first part of this, I'm going to be talking about how to get that sunburst in your photos. I'm going to go over the settings and all of that good stuff. So stay tuned and we're going to get right into how to get that sunburst in your photos. Okay, so first things up, what do you need? The equipment that you need. Of course, you need a camera. You need a camera. Or maybe you want to use your phone. I've never done this on a phone. So maybe you'll use a phone, but we're going to be talking about cameras. And I used, for this particular shot, I used the Canon R6 Mark II. This is the first time that I used my new baby. Now you can go back and watch my unboxing of this camera. I needed to get her. My R6 was doing some crazy stuff, overheating and all that stuff. But anyway, go back and watch that video. I'll link it. But yeah, I use a camera body, and then you need a lens. Lens that I used was the 35mm RF 35mm. I like to use a wide angle, that way you get a lot of stuff in the shot. But a 35 is somewhat considered a portrait, but you can use it for a variety. It's a good variety lens, let me just say that. So I use the 35 for these particular shots that I'm showing. And then, look, you need a tripod. You need a tripod because you have to be steady, right? And I just use my regular old Manfrotto Tripod that I've had for years and years and years. And then you need a trigger, a remote. I have my remote that I've had for years. I've had that remote for a very long time. It's got tape and all kinds of stuff on it, okay, to keep it holding it together. It's held together by some tape, but it works. So we're not gonna, we're not gonna mess with what works, right? We're gonna keep going, gonna keep doing what it do. As long as it do what it do, we're gonna keep it. So the next thing that I use, you don't have to, but I use an ND filter. Especially if I'm outside during bright light, I like to use an ND filter to cut down on some of that light. So yeah, so that's the equipment that you need. And yeah, so I'm just gonna do a voiceover. I'm just gonna show you how I got the sunburst in the video. Actually, it's like a partial sunburst, but anyway, you will see it. So roll the tape. So these are my settings. My shutter speed is at 4 seconds and my f-stop is at f10. And I wanted to do 4 seconds on the shutter because I wanted to get a little movement with the cars that are on the expressway. So that's why I did 4 seconds there for the shutter. And then my ISO is at 100. I always want to keep the ISO as low as possible, especially when I'm doing landscapes and cityscapes. And this is the finished product. As you can see, the sunburst over to the right, that sun is there, and you can see just a little bit of the sun coming. The sun is actually setting because we did this around sunset. The sun was going behind this building on the right there. And if I would have had another building that was on the other side of the sun, then you could really see the sunburst. And so yeah, this is definitely a good one, or at least a good example of your settings of what you want to have to create that sunburst effect. Between f11 and f16 is a good aperture for your sunburst. And as I said, the shutter, I wanted to slow that shutter down to get a little bit of movement of those cars that are on the freeway. That's it. That is how you get your sunburst in your photo. It's not a really, really good picture, but it's just a foundation, okay, of your settings, of how to go about getting that sunburst. Like I said in the video, if I had another building that was, you know, blocking that sun a little bit, then you will be able to see the full burst of the sun. It'll make your photo pop a little bit if you have that sunburst there. If you're just looking at a regular old photo, having the sunburst there, a real one, because now you know with all the AI stuff, you can do a fake one, right? You can put a fake sunburst in your photo, but why not be real? Why not have the real thing and the real deal in your photo? So that is it. That is all that I'm going to share for today on this photography talk with Nisha. I love the dialogue, so definitely talk in the comments. Tell me your tricks, your tips on how you capture a sunburst in your photos. If you've made it this far, definitely subscribe. Okay, subscribe, share, comment, like I said, all of that good stuff. So part 2, definitely stay tuned for my part 2, because I'm going to be talking about light trails and how you get a little bit more of light trails at night. So until then, I'll talk to you then.
Watching
Bye-bye.
my GG channel. Period.